Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. I had the sensitivity on this stupid thing really sensitive in the last video, so I toned it down a little bit. Hopefully the cat is more natural, I guess. I mean, it's not very natural to be floating in the sky. Here we are. Back to the original article that we were talking about, discussing in the last video. I wanted to just comment a little bit about something that we didn't really touch on in the last video, and that is this 511 nonsense. Okay, so there's a recurring theme in medical school, residency, USMLE exams. Basically, there's a recurring theme as you move up the echelons in your education, in your training. How should I put this? When you are in elementary school or high school, you might have been like top of your class. You might have been like the best student ever in your middle school, maybe even in your high school. You graduated top of the line. Then you go into college, and for all I know, you could still be top of the line. Your GPA could still be like a 4 or whatever it is. Different colleges use different metrics, but for the most part, most people use a GPA 4.0 scoring system. But I would say that as you move up the echelons into medical school, you become less and less special. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean this in the most realistic sense. I have known people my entire life who've been top of the class. Top of the class, got into Ivy Leagues, got perfect SAT scores. Listen, a perfect SAT score is not good enough in medical school. It's not. A perfect SAT score means absolutely nothing. And here's why. I see a lot of people with perfect SAT scores say to themselves, oh, I'm smart. I can do this. I don't need to study. Well, you're in for a rude awakening, because when you don't study in medical school, you fail. You fail. And you'll see the hard way that hard work is what gets you through medical school. It's not so much being book smart, it's working hard. There's this big debate in the world of academics, I guess you could say, between those who work hard and study hard and those who are just naturally smart and don't need to study. I've heard this conversation a million times. I'm sure the Zoomers, the Boomers, whatever you want to call them, the ones that are grown up in the 2010s, 2020s even, the people who are just getting born, coming into the world, learning about the economy and the world and how it works, they will all learn the hard way that, well, if I had to choose between someone who works really hard and someone who is naturally born smart, I choose the person who works really hard. And there's a couple reasons for this. One of the reasons is that when you work really hard, you have a good attitude. Okay, good attitude means that you will be doing right by your patients. And this is a very serious thing that I truly, take it to heart. If you work hard, that means you give a crap, you care about your patients, and you will be a good doctor. It's as simple as that. Now, moving on to the second reason why working hard will get you there. It's because a lot of the things that you will come across in medical school, you can only get the questions right if you work hard. I don't know how else to describe it. You can only get there by working your butt off. Because being smart doesn't necessarily mean that you will always get the question right. There's a lot of questions that require you to know things. You either know it or you don't. And then when you get to a certain level, yes, there's going to be questions that are more concept-based, more, did I understand the meaning behind this question, a lot of reading comprehension, right? Things that maybe a naturally born smart person might get right, but you still need that basic knowledge to get those questions right. And that's why the USMLE Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 are made in such a way. And that is why I honestly think that the MCAT is designed in a similar fashion to kind of mirror the USMLEs, in the sense that You have to work your butt off if you want to do well on this exam. You have to. I cannot stress that enough. Hard work pays off. Do not sit on doing on the MCATs. Don't just sit and wait and expect to do well. Take the time to study and work hard. Okay, that is such a very important thing that I cannot stress enough. And so when we look at the score 511, oh gosh, I wish I could comprehend what that. Does anyone out there, can anyone comprehend what a 511 is? I'm sure anyone who's not in medical school and not studying for the MCATs has no idea what a 511 means. If I tell someone on the streets, hey, guess what? I got a 511 on the MCATs. I guarantee you, $100 says they have no idea what that means. Like nominally, from a I can't even grasp what that a 511 means, because first of all, they don't know that a 528 is the highest score you can get. They don't know what the lowest score is that you can get. So a 511 means nothing to some random stranger, but it could mean a lot to you. And so what I'm trying to say here is work hard, get that 511, and you'll do well. Okay, so when I talk about working hard versus being smart, you can be smart or you could not be smart, and you could still get there. So something to think about. Take it easy.